The Subcommittee on South Central Asia will come to order, and the purpose of this hearing is to examine the fiscal year 26 President's budget request for the Bureau of Industry and Security. This hearing will serve as an opportunity for members to examine the Bureau of Industry and Security's critical and growing role in the U.S., ensuring that we win the AI arms race against the Chinese Communist Party. All right, today's hearing will examine the fiscal year 2026 budget request for the Bureau of Industry and Security, an agency whose mission is critical to ensuring America wins the AI arms race against the Communist Party of China. We are at a historic inflection point. Technologies that will define the 21st century, such as AI, biotechnology, and quantum computing, are achieving breakthroughs that increasingly sound more like science fiction than the reality that we're used to. These technologies have a potential to unlock tremendous economic prosperity, medical innovations, and human flourishing. However, they are not just drivers of economic growth, they are instruments of military power and security as well. Advanced AI models could coordinate fleets of self-driving cars in Michigan. They could also direct autonomous drone swarms over the Taiwan Strait. The nation that leads in developing and deploying these technologies has an opportunity to gain geopolitical advantages for decades to come. The CCP understands this. That's why it's trying to dominate these critical technologies by any means necessary through state subsidies, forced tech transfers, economic espionage, chip smuggling, and exploiting access to the West's most innovative AI labs and universities. AI dominance is central to the CCP's goals. Its military modernization efforts, surveillance state, and human rights abuses are amplified by AI. Export controls play a crucial role in ensuring the U.S. and allied technologies are not, the U.S. and allied technologies are not used to fuel the CCP's pursuit of global dominance. Amongst its many important roles, BIS serves as a guardian of one of the world's most valuable and powerful supply chains, the ecosystem of advanced chips, tools, components, and design software that underpins the development of cutting-edge artificial intelligence. China's leading AI companies have made it clear just how dependent their future is on U.S. technology. In response to a question on what their biggest obstacle to AI development is, DeepSeek's CEO put it bluntly, quote, "Bans on shipments of advanced chips are the problem," close quote. The CCP understands the importance of these AI choke points. That's why it's working around the clock to steal chips and exploit export control loopholes to internalize its production. That's why this hearing today is so important. BIS fiscal 26 budget request includes a 133% increase in enforcement funding, a bold and necessary step. As the DeepSeek CEO made evident, it's not a lack of talent holding back China's AI development, it's the lack of access to U.S. technology. That's what this budget supports. It allows BIS to better disrupt covert efforts to funnel U.S. innovation to the CCP's military and surveillance state. So let's be very clear. Enforcement is not about punishing innovation, it's about protecting it. It's about making sure that the technologies that define the future are not weaponized against our values, our alliances, or our own people. We also recognize that BIS operates in a dynamic and challenging environment. The technologies we're discussing are evolving rapidly. BIS must become faster, more adaptive, and more technologically capable than ever before. This subcommittee is committed to giving the Bureau the tools and resources it needs to meet that challenge head-on. The geopolitical struggle between America and China defines the technologies of our time. Global AI development shaped by democratic values or authoritarian control will depend on the decisions we make right now about licensing, enforcement, and strategic technology protection. I'm pleased that we are joined by Undersecretary Jeffrey Kessler, who leads BIS during this decisive period in history. Mr. Kessler, thank you for your service and your appearance here at the subcommittee. The window for preserving America's technology edge is narrow, but it does remain open. BIS, with the support of Congress, must ensure America wins the AI arms race. Chair now recognizes the ranking member from California, Representative Kamlager Dove, for any statement she may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Undersecretary Kessler, for being here today. It is mid-June, and you are the very first administration witness to testify before a House Foreign Affairs Committee this Congress. So I hope the rest of the administration can follow your example. Today we will examine the fiscal year 26 budget request for BIS and discuss the role of export controls within the larger national security objective of ensuring U.S. leadership in the global AI race. I say U.S. leadership because California, my state, is the #1 source of semiconductor manufacturing facilities and jobs in this country. These equities are very important to me and all of us. Over the past decade, export controls administered by BIS have become an increasingly divisive tool in U.S. foreign policy. Today, BIS is responsible for restricting the PRC's access to the advanced AI semiconductor chips powering China's military and technological advancements. It is also tasked with enforcing an extensive multilateral export controls regime on Russia in response to its unprovoked invasion of a democratic Ukraine. Yet despite its centrality to two critical national security priorities, BIS's resources have not kept pace to meet the demands of its responsibilities. Since 2010, BIS's budget for core export control functions has remained relatively flat, while the number of license applications has nearly doubled, from 20,000 a year in 2012 to over 40,000 a year in 2024. I am glad to see the significant funding increase for BIS in the President's budget, which must also be accompanied by increased responsiveness to Congress and greater congressional oversight. These resources will help ensure that the export controls needed to prevent the PRC from accessing leading-edge chips and chip manufacturing equipment can be effectively enforced. However, I'm concerned that robust export controls cannot make up for the immense damage this administration is doing to America's competitiveness in AI. To win the AI race, we can't just slow China down. We have to simultaneously speed up and sustain our lead in cutting-edge technology. Yet Trump's budget would upend the federal R&D that is an essential enabler of the semiconductor technology pipeline. The President's budget slashes the National Science Foundation's research funding for microelectronics and semiconductors by 54%. NIST, which supports foundational research to commercialize new developments in semiconductor technology, would be cut by 28%, after hundreds of employees working on semiconductor policies were doged. The Department of Energy's Office of Science, which supports national labs in the development of advanced manufacturing processes for semiconductors in the United States, is getting a 14% reduction. Not to mention the administration's culture war against universities and its draconian immigration policies, including the deployment of the National Guard in my home city of downtown LA right now, creating a perilous environment for the high-skilled foreign talent we are dependent on to make up the semiconductor workforce shortage. Trump doesn't need to force a repeal of the CHIPS Act, which has been essential to boosting domestic chip manufacturing, to hurt our advancements in AI. Turning back to BIS, I'm concerned that Trump is treating export controls as a bargaining